Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the Joker movie.
If you just smile.
This new film represents everything that everyone was afraid to do with a superhero supervillain movie. They were afraid to make an antagonist who is relatable, someone who we can root for. And that is exactly what they did in Joker, and I think it was perfect for this movie. Whenever anything happened to Arthur, people felt bad about it. They didn't care that he was the bad guy. They only cared because he was the main character. He was written as a person that you were supposed to feel emotions for. And usually in cinema now, when you see a villain, they're supposed to be evil. You're not supposed to like them. But in Joker, they portray Arthur as a hero of his own story. Much like in the film Taxi Driver, Arthur works solely for himself, almost, it seems like, throughout the movie. He wants to achieve what Arthur wants to achieve. He doesn't care about what anyone else thinks or what anyone else believes. He only wants to do what he thinks is right. That's another important part of the movie. Arthur, throughout the film, shows that he is doing what he believes to be the right thing, and society created this monster. And it's more of a movie telling society that it's awful. It's a movie that shows how our everyday interactions can lead to something on this scale. It can lead to somebody finally breaking and finally making a decision like killing all these people and going out and becoming this symbol of revolution. Now, a lot of critics have been saying this is a dangerous movie, that a movie like this could inspire people to do something like is seen in the movie, to become a hero, per se. But I don't think that's the case in this movie. I think that the movie is written well enough that you can relate to Arthur, but you can't relate to Arthur closely enough to think that he's doing the right thing. You can relate to Arthur to the point that we've all been played by society at some point. We've all been mistreated. We've all been told that we're not doing this right or that we are going to be a failure or something like that. Everyone's been told that at one point or another in their life. And this movie highlights that beautifully. It shows that we can all kind of relate to that. We all have seen the judgmental nature of society. But this movie is about standing up against that. This movie is about showing society that if you push someone to the brink and you keep pushing, there is something that is bound to happen. Whether it be a violent outbreak, whether it be protest, whether it be anything. Something is bound to happen if you push a person to their limits far enough. This movie is the perfect example of that. All of us can relate to Arthur. All of us are like Arthur in a way. Some of us may even have the same kind of disabilities with the laughing or something like that. It makes him feel more human. If you can relate to the character, it makes you want to root for them, which is something that people don't like usually in a villain. They don't like to root for a villain. But when you see Arthur on a screen and you see all of the damage and all of the pain that has happened to Arthur throughout the movie and throughout his life. You can feel for him. You can sympathize with the villain. You can say, hey, maybe he has a point here. Maybe what he's doing isn't entirely wrong. That is where it can become a dangerous film. A lot of people will see this movie and probably think, Arthur made some pretty good points. The upper class does really think like that. They don't care about people who are lower than them. Those people don't matter. Arthur highlights that beautifully, and he highlights that idea in society perfectly. He also highlights how this is a legitimate concern of a lot of people in American society. A lot of people feel like they're mistreated by society, by the upper class, by the everyday people, and they think that they don't matter. This film shows that anger and that emotion so well, it's insane. I also want to bring up one of my favorite things about the movie was the soundtrack. It was absolutely amazing. It set the mood for the entire film. and it really just gave this creepy vibe. And another thing was the cinematography and the editing. Everything in this movie was put together to give off this uncomfortable vibe of this world that Arthur lives in. It was given this way to show the world how Arthur sees it, how he sees everything that happens in his daily life, the mistreatment and the horrific things that happen to the citizens in Gotham. Now, I know a lot of what I'm saying is pretty basic stuff, but at the end of the day, this movie was just entertaining to watch. Even if you're not looking at it on some grand cinematic scale, it was just an entertaining movie, and it's a great place for DC to start building their new universe. They have said that they're going to build more darker themed movies. Kind of like the Dark Knight trilogy, I think. Something more along those lines. But as the Joker opening movie for that, I think this is the perfect movie to start off their new franchise with Robert Pattinson going to be the new Batman in that new movie. I'm not sure, but they have said there might be a Joker 2 or a sequel to this Joker. I'm not sure how that would work, honestly. I feel like this movie was really tied together well, and it doesn't really need a sequel, it feels like. I'm not sure what the story would even consist of in a sequel. But Joaquin Phoenix in this movie is absolutely enigmatic. He's insane. It's incredible. It's one of his best movies. Of course, he delivers in every role he's in. Back in Her, another one of my favorite movies, I absolutely loved him in that movie. And I think he's going to consistently be one of the best actors in Hollywood. I don't think there's a chance that anyone could have pulled off a role or a character like this as well as he did. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This is my very first video I've ever made on YouTube. I'm hoping I can start making some more. Like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like, tell me what I could fix for the next videos in the future. I know my microphone sounds like absolute ass. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get my better one fixed up. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.